Now, there's a Senate race going on in Alabama right now, and while it hardly needs more, pardon the pun, drama, uh, I thought it might be interesting to dig into the dynamics. So here we have the primary maps for both the GOP and the Democrats. You can see Roy Moore as the Republican nominee. He's in green, carried most of the state, whereas Doug Jones is the Democratic nominee, and he also carried most of the state, aside from a regional politician who also, Will Boyd, who actually came in third. Richard Kennedy came in second, although he did not win a county and therefore is not listed. So just for a little context, Trump carried Alabama with 62% of the vote compared to Clinton's 34%, and therefore it is a heavily Republican state, has been for decades. Started to shift away from the Democrats during the Civil Rights Act era. The main bastion of support for Democrats, and therefore this will be crucial for Doug Jones, is the 7th Congressional District, which encompasses most of the Black Belt, Montgomery, Birmingham, just that general area, which is really the only region in Alabama that actually votes Democratic anymore. And so that'll be key. So to look at this on a congressional level, Alabama has 6 congressmen that are Republicans and 1 that is a Democrat, Representative Terry Sewell. She represents the 7th Congressional District, which is largely composed of the Black Belt. In order for Jones to win, he would need to probably carry the 1st and 2nd Congressional Districts, perhaps the 3rd as well, and hold down the margins in the 5th. He would really need an upsurge of support in Huntsville, Mobile, Montgomery, Birmingham, and record minority turnout, as well as even some crossover votes from Trump's supporters in the rest of the state. So you can see I've listed the Cook partisan voting indexes for each district. You can see the 1st and 2nd have less. But yeah, the strategy, the way that Jones could win would be by winning the 1st, the 2nd, maybe the 3rd, holding down Moore's margins in the 5th, and at least performing decently in the 4th and 6th, as well as winning the 7th by a landslide. So that's really his path to victory. So the polling for this race has been somewhat contradictory. At one point, Moore held like a 20-point advantage, a huge advantage in polling, and then he ran into some controversies. The Democrats kind of pulled out the mudslinging, and he faltered a little bit. Jones took a lead in the Real Clear Politics average, which is where these polls are sourced from, and then he made a resurgence, and now the latest poll shows him up by 6. He holds a 2-point advantage overall from all these aggregated polls. As you can see, the latest polls show him up at the most, and then down, and then Gravis shows Jones up by 5. Essentially, this race it's key to think about the congressional districts. The 1st and 2nd are key. Jones has to do very well there. The 7th, he has to win by an overwhelming margin, really run up the margins or the votes in Montgomery, Birmingham, Mobile, perhaps Huntsville. He's got to keep down the votes, keep down Moore's margins in the 5th, and he has to do at least respectably in the 4th and 6th. And Moore has a devoted base in his evangelical core of support, and they will likely turn out to vote. So it's essentially Jones's challenge is to get his black voters or black supporters to turn out and vote in huge numbers, and hopefully to counteract Moore's support, and then whoever else votes will hopefully be split between him from his perspective. But essentially, polling is difficult in special elections, and therefore what really counts is election day and who turns out. So thank you for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe.